All right, y'all, the October challenge has started. Me and Lyric are getting it in with LASHAE on ifyoucanmove.com. Sign up for the October challenge before it's over, or sign up for the online gym if you're trying to get in shape, okay? Girlfriend will get you together in 30 minutes or less most of the time, okay? I'm telling y'all, most of the workouts are less than 30 minutes. Get you in, get you out, get you some real results, okay? And please don't forget to check out TLC products, okay? They tell y'all it's a scam, but they lied, okay? I'm telling y'all, you got stomach issues, you ever feel like, you know, you're a little constipated, or your stomach hurt, a little nauseous, anything like that, that ISO tea, any of the flavors is so helpful, so helpful. And NutriBurst definitely gets your energy where you need it to be throughout the day. I promise y'all, I would not lie to you, okay? Because we're going through this challenge, we're working out every day this month, okay? So I need all the help I can get. So y'all check down below in the description box where you can get the links to everything. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Sistas review, y'all. Season 2, this is gonna be a joint episode 1 and episode 2 recap review, y'all, all right? Now let's just go ahead and get into it. Look, before I get into my actual notes, I wanna point out that I see you, Tyler Perry. I see you listening to us. I see you watching our reviews, okay? Because the dialogue throughout the scenes was far less repetitive than it was season 1, okay? I mean, I can only remember like one scene where I felt like they was dragging it out, and we'll get to that scene and I'll point it out. But ultimately, I just felt like he did a really, really good job, okay, taking the repetitiveness out of the dialogue where he's constantly repeating things from person to person. So yes, all right, let's go ahead. Now that I said that, let's go ahead and get into what had happened on Sistas episode 1. So Danny wakes up to Preston. Y'all know that's the white boy in the cowboy hat. He fine and all of that, but he ghosted her one time, right? And he was like, I ghosted you because you acted like you didn't want to be bothered with me. And she's like, well, I act like, you know, I don't want to be bothered with you, but really, you know, I'm attached. Like, don't do me like this, okay? That's why I don't want you to leave right now. He getting up trying to go to work. She like, no, I don't want you to leave. Like, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay. I might handcuff you to the bed. Call your boss. That's your family. Tell him you're not going to be there today. That's all. Like, just tell him, all right? We trying to soften up the character. That's fine, okay? Sabrina goes to see Maurice in the hospital. He wants to stay in the hospital because the doctor is big fine, okay? The doctor comes in and he has a, you know, very nice disposition, okay? A good bedside manner. And when Maurice asks him out, he's like, okay, I don't see why not. You're the best patient I've had in a long time. All right. Okay, no. I don't want to see your booty hole. No, thank you. I don't want to see your booty hole. Just go ahead and leave. I have your information. All right. Check out at the desk. Okay. Y'all have a good one. Ooh, will he call? Only time will tell. I'm tired of Maurice being thirsty, though. I'm tired of that. Like, the thirsty gay character. Why you can't like meat, have meat, and not be thirsty? Like, I'm sure this happens. I feel like I know people that's not thirsty. There was also a shameless Tyler Perry movie plug during this scene, but I'm going to let you live. We watching BET Plus, Tyler, okay? We've been watching all the plays. We here, okay? You ain't got to do all that. So last season, we found out that Andy's dude, okay, she was a side chick to this married man named Gary, okay? And it's a whole ordeal that had went down. You need to go and watch my season 1 reviews in order to find out, okay? But for right now, we just gonna say that he was laundering money through his firm, okay? He asked if he can put some money in Andy's account to hide it from his wife, who he was going through a divorce with, okay? And Andy did it, and she called her friend Sabrina down at the bank and asked her to make the transfer into her account. That flagged the FBI. The FBI popped up on Andy and Gary while he was showing her this house all the way out in Alabama in the country, knowing this girl is a city girl. She a city girl. She don't want to be in the country, okay? And she remembered that his wife Jasmine said that he will separate you from your family and your friends, girl. He will isolate you. And this is what he is doing by moving her out into the woods, okay? The FBI showed up, and the FBI arrested him, took her phone and her purse, and then just let her walk down a dirt road. I was like, is that the type of stuff they do? I feel like they would have brought her in just to like question her. If they gonna go through all her stuff, they might as well bring her in for questioning. Why would you make this woman walk on a long road by herself. That don't even make sense. I feel like if anything would have happened to her, they would have been liable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you basically came and took everything that, you know, gave her some form of transportation or communication. You took all of those things from her and then you left her out in the middle. Like, what? That just don't even sound right to me. So that right there was stupid. But one of the FBI agents was following close behind her, I guess. And he stops and offers his phone to her. Of course, she called Karen first. Karen ain't got her phone. She calls Sabrina. Sabrina don't answer the phone. And then lastly, she calls Danny, who's trying to keep Preston from leaving her house, right? And Danny says, you know, I ain't got no gas money. And she like, girl, I'm in the middle of nowhere on the side of a road, okay? I need your help, all right? Danny don't even know where the highway is. Preston can help her with that. So she's gonna come to Andy's rescue. Andy, not knowing that the man was FBI until he told her, was stupid, because he had a whole, you know, FBI issue vehicle. Government issue vehicles always have a continuation of numbers. Regular license plates have 3 numbers and then 3 or 4 numbers, whatever it is, but the numbers are broken apart on regular private licenses, okay? But on government issue cars and vehicles, it's all of the numbers all together. Okay, y'all got to be out here paying attention. The FBI man with the light eyes apologizes for the way that his boss treated her. He could have let her take her phone, okay? She asked him about Gary, and he says that Gary has been laundering money through his firm for years. Andy tries to, you know, throw his wife out there like, well, his wife might be trying to set him up. And he was like, no, okay, he's been laundering money since before he was married to her. Then she allows him to take her home, which she could have done from the very beginning. So like Andy always being difficult. While they're riding, he allows her to look into the file. Another thing that a real FBI agent would have never done, but whatever, okay? It allows her to see the pictures of her and Gary together. Obviously, the FBI have been tailing them for a while. And then it shows the first wife. Yes, there was a first wife. Jasmine was not the first wife. So now it's another thing you didn't find out about your man that you didn't know about your man. Okay, girl, leave him alone, but baby won't leave him alone. Try, but she can't let go. Baby can't leave it alone. If y'all don't know about that, a Ludara, okay, Nas daddy, get into it. She was born with an affliction. I'ma just pass it on, yeah. She didn't know. If y'all don't know about it, y'all better get into it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to give y'all a little ditty. So Sabrina and Calvin, y'all. Sabrina and Calvin are still acting like they like each other, okay? She is going to stop judging him for being, you know, effeminate. And I guess they're going to try to make it work. Like, whatever. After, like, the drunken outburst, like, who has time for him and all of his extra issues that pop out every once in a while? But he says he loves her. And she was just like, oh, like, you love her? You love her. You couldn't stand her. You was weird. You was real smart around the mouth a few, you know, episodes ago. Maybe 1 or 2, okay? Like, you was a little smart up around the mouth, and now you love her? Oh, okay, Calvin, okay. All right, so y'all remember last season, Karen was dating the pastor. The pastor was still married to a crazy white lady who showed up to Karen's salon and blew her brains out in front of everybody. The crazy lady's mom and brother blamed Karen. Okay, so the brother showed up to Karen's apartment and Zach threw in the interference and got stabbed. And then Karen got her gun and shot him. And then Karen's mama came to the rescue and, you know, took care of the guy. Now, apparently the guy is still alive. Okay, he's supposedly okay. And mom, she went camping in the woods somewhere. Okay, but they're leaving the hospital and he says that he'll stay with Danny. And she says that she's going over to Andy's house to see what's going on with her. He insists that she allow him to clean his blood off the floors of her apartment. That's the least he can do. And in the car on the way there, he want to get back together, of course. And she like, I'm tired of going down this road with you, Zach. I'm so tired, Zach. Okay? And the truth of the matter is they keep doing this over and over again. So Zach says he's just going to show and prove. He's going to get himself together and show her, just promise that she'll go slow with old dude. And I feel like she don't even really want the pastor. Like, he yang, yang, but I don't think she really want the pastor, okay? I don't really like the pastor, y'all. I want him to go on away from me with this. Because I don't like the way he always feel like he can just pop up at people's house. I feel like that's disrespectful. I don't know you like that. Stop just popping up at my house. Call before you come. We have cell phones, okay? We have landlines. We got communication all over the place. Send me a DM before you pop up at my house, okay? Like, what is the issue? When they pull up to her place, the police are still there and she needs her phone. So he goes in to see about it, complaining the whole way there. And when he gets there, he sees that lady cop, okay, like a cop. When I get up falling, yeah, you can hear the angels calling us. Hey, the sunrise before us. And when I'm in the thing, I make the body sing. I make it say, like a cop car. Look, I'm gonna stop. Okay, but anyway, okay, the lady cop that I think Zach went to school with, she a little sweet on him and he be flirting with her. So he asked about the cell phone, okay, where she's like, oh, so you got an old lady. Oh, so you saying it's not serious, but you coming here for her phone. Come back in 45 minutes, Zach, because you work on my nerves. You better not have nothing to do with, like, okay, sis, fine. So he go back in the car, and wait for the 45 minutes, and then he come back to get the phone. And she say, look, at the end of the day, I just want some dick. Like, she hit with the baby boy. Like, she hit him with the baby boy. And right now, he just got stabbed. He can't give you no meat. Sis, calm down. But, that's what she want from him. And she, it ain't got to be nothing serious. But she give him the phone, and she clocked, how Karen cute and that it ain't over. But she just saying for the yeah, hit him up on the yeah, like that. He got to get his stuff together. So he calls Karen's mom's boyfriend, who's an ex-con who got his life together. And they have like an ex-con real estate thing. So that's how Zach gonna get on. And Zach gonna go from being completely poor to having all this money from getting involved in the ex-con real estate group. Like, yeah, okay, we got it. We got it. The cop brought her down to the station. I was like, I thought he was bringing her home. Whatever. Brings her down to the station, lets her talk to Gary. And Gary acts like he doesn't know what the hell is going on, okay? He says he's never been married before. There was no first wife. It was only Jasmine. She is not believing him. She's like, it's over, Gary, okay? I can't do this with you anymore, Gary, okay? And Jasmine said that she would try to isolate me. And that's what you did when you took me out there to the country. You tried to isolate me, Gary. He says, so you've been talking to Jasmine. I said, this nigga's crazy. He's crazy. He's like, look, if you don't believe me, if you don't trust what I'm saying, then get out of here. Get out of here. And she was like screaming at me, yelling at me. It's not going to make me believe you, Gary. And then she storms off. And I'm just like, girl, I wish you would leave this fool man alone, girl. Andy gets to her apartment and realizes that same cop with the light eyes, that FBI agent, is standing guard outside of her apartment while the FBI seizes all of her belongings. Because apparently, as soon as she put Gary's money in her account, that made her liable. So now the government can come in and seize all of her property. So that's what they're doing, and they won't let her in her place. And she's trying to fight the FBI agent. It's like, like, girl, if you don't stop. I was just like, girl, put your forearms down. You're not getting into the apartment. Karen shows up and has to calm her down. Danny shows up like, where's my gas money? Making jokes that ain't funny. And Andy is just staring out into the distance like she doesn't know what's going on right now. When they get in the car, Karen asks Andy, what is going on? And Andy explains about Gary and the money laundering and them thinking that she's involved. And Karen says, girl, you need a lawyer. You need a good lawyer, girl. And I'm like, ain't Andy a lawyer? So you mean to tell me that just because you have an expertise, you don't know nothing about? Like, okay, fine. No, I mean, I understand. It's a lot of court cases to remember, to be trying to remember different expertise of, being a lawyer. I get it, of legality, whatever. But I just kind of feel like it's like she's not a lawyer at all in this moment. You know what I mean? Not even a little bit. She doesn't even know if what she was doing with Gary was illegal. I'm like, how are you a lawyer and you didn't know that transferring that money was something that was considered illegal? Like helping him hide money, like, oh, Oh, y'all, Lord, I can't take Andy. She's so stupid sometimes, Lord. So the FBI then goes to her office, and the assistant, Fatima, who is down, okay, for no reason, other than the fact that Tyler Perry likes to make assistants down for whoever they boss is, okay? He just likes to do that. He does it in the plays a lot. And here we are again with Fatima running into the office to hide things that she don't even know she needs to hide. Like, you know, like Andy isn't really doing anything for them to, you know, seize paperwork, but Fatima was like, I'm not giving them nothing, okay? So she actually, you know, took a lot of stuff and hid it before the FBI actually went into Andy's office and looked through anything. Andy doesn't want to go over to Danny's place for whatever reason. If I was Danny, I'd have felt some type of way too. Like, oh, now we changing the plans? We got to go to Sabrina's house? Okay, fine. So they go to Sabrina's house. Sabrina's boss, out of nowhere, seemed like that whole last season didn't have not a boss in that place. But anyway, whatever. She comes to Sabrina about the transfer that Sabrina did for Andy and Gary, okay? The FBI flagged it. This wasn't a good thing to do. It wasn't protocol. And it's like she was completely taken aback by the fact that it wasn't protocol. And I'm like, what is going on at this business where this is not specified beforehand that you're not supposed to make $145,000, $150,000 transfers to people's accounts behind the scenes without letting the FBI know? Like, you know, it just kind of seems like everybody dumb now. Nobody knows what they do for a living right now. And I'm just like, okay, fine. But the boss ends up sending Sabrina's ass home. You don't know, you do know, it don't matter. Leave your key card, I'll give you a call, okay? So Sabrina is going to end up at her place with Danny and Andy and Karen drinking little bitty bottles of liquor that she stole from the airline. And she swear up and down you can't steal from the people you work for, and I sometimes tend to agree. Especially when it comes to stuff like that. Like, hold money out of accounts, yes. But, you know, toilet tissue and little bottles of liquor, you know, whatever. Y'all will be all right. The fuck? Taking my life away from me. You gonna give me these little bottles of liquor for free. So once everybody is all at Sabrina's place, Andy explains about the embezzlement. And Danny brings up the optics of the whole situation. Like, yeah, girl, you might make your own money, but you flossing heavy. So, you know, it could look like the reason why you flossing is because you in cahoots with Gary and all of his embezzlements. And everybody keeps getting upset at Danny for pointing out obvious and, you know, smart, analytical thinking comments, but I just kind of was appreciative of her for that. Like, Karen was working on my nerves. Stop telling her to shut up. This bitch done ruined her life because she don't want to be real with herself. Like, at the end of the day, bitch, we gonna be real right now. This is the time for you to actually sit and think about your actions, bitch. Stop living in la la land, sitting up there trying to, you know, baby her through this situation. Her ass might go to jail. We ain't got time to baby this bitch. Give her the what? Give her the real info, okay? Come on now. Then Danny notices the blood on Karen's pants and is trying to understand what the hell happened there. So then Karen has to explain what happened with Zach and the ex-wife's brother, okay? Then Danny reminds her, you know, you acting like you don't know what you did to that lady, but you was talking to her husband before they was divorced. And, you know, that's not Karen's fault. But at this, you know, like, they separated. They in the midst of getting a divorce. She didn't do anything wrong, especially not to deserve all of the energy that lady gave her after the fact. She was like, hey, I didn't have sex with him. Okay, let's remember that. Then they remind Danny about the 67-year-old old barber with a baby on the way that she was entangled with. Yeah, that's right, entanglement. Andy calls her office and finds out from Fatima that the FBI was there, but she cleaned out her office ahead of time. And Andy's like, I don't have anything to hide. Obviously, you ain't got no sense neither. Okay, you better let Fatima handle this the way she know how, which is don't give them nothing. Andy needs help with a good lawyer. So Fatima goes and asks the only other black lawyer at the firm, this guy we've never seen before. But anyway, she asks him for his help, and there's a little flirtation, and their mamas go to church together. So he's going to oblige and try to help Andy out of this shit show of a situation that she's gotten herself into. The pastor comes to see about Karen while Zach is cleaning his blood off of the floor. And Zach asks him, why is he always just popping up without calling first? Like, what is that about? And he says, look, I know this is hard for you. I came into the picture. I have a job. You know, you're not making any money. Like, it was like, dude, wait a minute. Like, at the end of the day, my dude, you have brought this girl more issue than I have in the entire time we've been together. I have never almost gotten her killed. I have never almost gotten her killed, and everybody around you seems to be dying. So won't you stay here while I clean this up to make sure nobody else comes here to kill me? Talking about I don't think that's gonna happen. How would you know? How would you know? You didn't know this shit was gonna happen this time. You didn't know your ex-wife was crazy enough to blow her brains out in front of my old lady at her shop. Like, come on, you didn't know. You didn't know none of this. You don't know nothing. This was the repetitive scene. You know what I mean? We had to keep going back and forth about this. But at the end of the day, Tyler, this is much better, brother. This is much better. Karen calls. She's going to stay at Sabrina's. She needs some clothes. So he says, okay, I'll bring you some clothes. He doesn't have a car, so he asks for the pastor to bring him over there. The pastor is like, well, I can just bring it myself and you can just give me the address. And he was like, or you can give me a ride over there. And this is when they, you know, go back and forth about that. And I was just like, oh my God. Whatever. I swear Karen must have something special up in them pants, man. So then we see Calvin going to check on Maurice. Another thirsty gay man scene. Calvin attempts to have a serious conversation with him about how he's doing after, you know, being assaulted. And he acts as if it's nothing. I'm a gay man and I have to get used to being abused. You know, that type of attitude. Meanwhile, back at Sabrina's, she's telling Karen and Danny that she's not going to judge him the way she did before and she's going to give Calvin a chance. And Danny just brings up, at the end of the day, girl, you was the one that was sending us the pictures of him in the panties. She says he's not wearing the panties anymore. He's wearing regular underwear. And they're like, oh, that's great, girl. Then she drops it on them that he said he loved her, and it's just kind of like, yeah, y'all moving too fast. Andy comes out and tells them that she knows Jasmine, Bellamy, and Morris were all trying to set Gary up, so that's what she thinks is going on. Danny isn't buying it. She calls Fatima to ask her to call Leslie, the lesbian PI, to see if she has any backups of all of the information that Leslie had about them being in cahoots. Then Danny says, I have one more question. And they don't want her to ask a question. But she asks, why was Andy in Alabama? And everybody's like, oh, that is a good question. Yeah, exactly. She tells them how Gary wanted them to live on a farm out there. And then Gary calls, telling her that he was set up. Now, he's on the phone with Karen because Andy doesn't want to, you know, talk to him. And he's like, just tell her I was set up, that I really didn't do this, and I love her, and I wasn't married. Danny hijacks the phone and calls him a married-ass, lying-ass dirtbag. Then everybody rolls all over on the floor for a little bit, and then the pastor and Zach show up together. And I'm like, oh, this day can't get any more stressful. Let two men that I'm seeing show up at the same damn time together to drop off my clothes. Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, y'all, Sistas wasn't that terrible. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. I kind of enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about it? We'll be back next week for episode 3. I'm just glad he's listening to us now. So thank you, Tyler Perry. We appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, y'all, that was Sistas. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.